This morning started off like any other morning. I was taking my girls to school, we're driving in the car, listening to old hymns, harmonizing together, took the exit that I typically take, and then the worst possible thing happened. This exit is backed up significantly. And it's not just cars, I'm talking semi after semi. It's clear that I'm gonna be waiting a long time to turn left. And other people were too. But I saw some other people start to do something. These heathens, or in biblical terms, I'll call them Esau's, people unwilling to wait, cut out of our line. They turned right, only to do a U-turn to turn left, to skip the whole waiting process. And as I watched car after car commit this vehicular sin, I was struck by something that I'm sure you've thought about too. As a society, we are terrible at waiting. We hate waiting. And it's because waiting sucks. It's not fun. To our modernized, consumeristic, Amazon Prime-shaped mind, waiting is only an obstacle to be eliminated. And this poses a problem for Christians because much of the Christian life consists of waiting. We're constantly waiting on God. We say a prayer, we want God to do something, and then we wait for Him to show up. And God doesn't have an Amazon Prime feature. So if only there were a season in the Christian calendar, if only there were a time of year meant to help us Christians wait on God, well, enter Advent. You see, historically speaking, Advent for the church, it's like the training program to build our waiting muscles. Just think about that word Advent, which means arrival. For something or someone to arrive, what does that imply? Well, you're waiting. In fact, waiting is what makes an arrival an arrival. And that takes me back to my story from this morning. I eventually just decided to be a crazy person and waited in line, and it wasn't that bad. In fact, it gave me time to talk to my girls, to do a little dance party, to sing. You see, we have two options while we wait. We can either take matters into our own hands and we can shortcut, we can skip, we can eliminate the waiting, or we can choose to trust God and wait for Him to arrive on His terms. So now that we only have a few days left until Christmas, I have a very simple challenge for you. What would it look like to engage in the practice of waiting? When you're tempted to skip the line, when you're tempted to pull out your phone while you're waiting, or maybe when you're tempted to get mad at your waitress because things are taking so long. What if next time you just waited? Because what might happen if you wait? You might say a prayer and hear from God on something that you've been wanting to hear from Him on. You might meet somebody and hear their story, or you might have the opportunity to display patience to somebody who's had a rough day. You see, all of these moments, they're mini arrivals. They're moments where God makes Himself known to us, and sometimes through us to other people. There are these moments when we experience the gift of His arriving. We experience His grace. So that's my challenge to you. Engage in this practice of waiting. Wait on God. Look for God while you wait, and then watch for the unexpected ways in which He tends to show up.